very warm welcome to you all to the one-on-one set. On the 18th of November this year, Mauritius will host the Open Africa Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, a competition that will in fact see the participation of around 20 countries from around the world. And tonight, during this episode, we have with us Yudish Sookhoo from the Mauritius Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation to talk to us about that sports event. Yudish, thank you so much for joining us in the studio of the NBC.
Thank you, Koyal, and I'm very happy to be here and feel very honored to be able to share the sports with you all and to talk a bit about the development of the sports around the island and a bit my experience also.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yudish, you practice Jiu-Jitsu for so many years, and Jiu-Jitsu is in fact a martial art, but we have different types, right?
Yes.
We have Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What
Mhm.
you practice, in fact, is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
So could you share with us maybe about what exactly is Jiu-Jitsu as a martial art in itself?
Firstly, I will talk about the history, where it was found, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu originated from Brazil. Was innovated by the Gracie brothers, namely Helio and Carlos. And initially, they used to practice judo from a Japanese who traveled from Japan to Brazil. They joined the class to learn about this judo martial art. Then Helio, specifically, he was weaker than his opponent. He developed the ground game because to compensate the judo throws. So we can say that our fight starts when we are being put on the ground. That is, and the Japanese jiu-jitsu was created by the samurai during wars to be able to defeat bigger opponents. There's a saying goes like this, like the sports were created for maximum efficiency with minimum effort because Japan was in size was smaller than their opponents. And then after some years, the Japanese jiu-jitsu become a self-defense um, system of work, a self-defense sport. Okay, and then it got evolved from Japanese jiu-jitsu to judo in Japan itself. Then there is one student from a judo master, namely Michio Maeda, who traveled from Japan to Brazil
Okay.
for challenge because in order to evolve the sport to know ourselves better, we need to challenge also means it's a form of learning because if we practice in our comfort zone and we don't challenge ourselves, we'll not be able to evolve.
It's also a way to test your potential, right?
Yes, to test our potential and to also become better. Without competition or challenge, we can't become better. And also, our mind is very competitive. So, in order to become a better version of this sport, this kind of martial art, we need competition. We need to challenge ourselves. So he traveled from to test to challenge other martial arts also, other combat sport, to see if what needs to improve and to how to say to showcase his skills, his talent, and also to share the sports because sharing is sports also because sports is not for ourselves, okay, is for everyone. Everyone has a right to practice
To ensure
sports.
continuity as well for sport,
Yes.
it's important to share the skills to others, right?
Okay. Yes. Because it's so important to share the sport. Maybe when we share the sport, other people who practice can innovate the sport in another level. That's what is happening around the world. Many, it was originated from the Gracie family, and now there are many schools who innovate this sport, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it is a constant evolution of this sport, just because they have shared sports and competition also.
So would you say that the technique for Japanese jiu-jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu differ?
Uh, for Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, there is three types of component in it. That is the striking, the throwing, like judo, and the ground fighting. But the ground fighting has not been evolved like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So it consists of three different
Yeah,
components. Whereas judo, their main focus, they have evolved the throwing skills. They have many techniques of throwing. And Jiu-Jitsu Brazilian was their focus was on the groundwork. And also it was innovated by Helio Gracie because he was, as I said earlier, he was weaker in size, and to be able to defeat his opponent,
yeah.
he invented so many skills. So as defensive, we call it the guard. That is especially our legs, because on the ground, we use our legs as the guard, and our offensive techniques is to finish our opponents with a choke or locks. But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a form of grappling sports, and where we learn how to control our opponents. And it consists of four components. That is, we start from the standing position, we bring our opponents down, we try to pass his guard through pass guard. We call it, it is one component, pass guard or sweeps. Then we control the opponent and we finish by a choke or locks. So there are many techniques, and the sports never get old. This sports especially never get old. It is the fastest growing sport around the world for its efficiency.
But Yudish, talk to us about your journey. How did you get involved in this discipline,
Mhm.
and what inspired you, to continue in that field even when it gets tough?
For me, when I was child, I used to play every day. I used to play. I was someone who very energetic. So for me, playing was part of my life, of my
Routine, yeah,
routines.
yeah.
Yes. Then um, why martial art? How I fell in love with martial art? It's from movies, because when I was a child, there was not so many martial art clubs, sports as such in Mauritius. Or if there was any, it was far. We could not afford to travel to go to train. So I feel the martial art movies, I like it a lot. I had my favorite actors also, namely Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Everyone knows about them, and I like this kind of skills. I fell in love with it. So one day when I was in secondary school, I saw a club for jiu-jitsu near the school I used to go. Then I got enrolled there, and then my life changed. It changes my life because at secondary school I was not a brilliant student, and I was influenced in many bad habits. I had some bad
Yeah.
habits also. But when I joined this club, it gave me a drive, a drive to success. Immediately, I became,
Fuel your energy in a positive way.
yeah, yeah, gave me some meaning of my life, and it gave me a vision how
Yeah,
I
a
want to
goal.
spend
Yes,
my
indeed.
life. Especially that vision changed me a lot. So it became easy. It became easy to tackle the negative habits, because bad habits, we don't defeat bad habits, we just change it
Of
from
course.
negative
Yeah.
and positive. So that sport, that martial art, that club, I'm always grateful for this, namely Warriors Jiu-Jitsu Club. And my sensei was Roshan, and he gave me a lot of discipline, of respect for myself, like some principle of my life also, and especially a vision how I want to build up my life in the future.
You actually started,
Japanese Jiu-Jitsu,
yeah.
yeah.
So, how did you, push yourself to become an athlete, a practitioner now, to participate in bigger
hmm
competition? You always had that, you always wanted to participate in bigger competition and represent Mauritius in different platforms.
Unknowingly, I was very competitive since teenager. Since I joined college, I was very competitive. My favorite day during this whole year of school was a sports day
Really?
because yeah, because that's now I can say this. That the day which I
You know, you'll win. You'll
yeah
just shine.
yes I love medals, gold medals, and that's the day I await the most of the year. And but at the time I didn't know. I didn't
Okay.
know. Now I can say because I realized that from my day one. So I have 20 years of competition, and without competition, I don't feel, especially in sports, and that is the only feel that I am myself,
Hmm.
and that is the only feel I feel I can do better.
Okay.
Okay, and I didn't had this feeling in other field. That was the only thing I knew I
You're
loved.
passionate about.
Yes, I was very passionate about the sports, especially competition. And when joining the clubs, mm, I don't, I don't know if it's my lucky or unlucky, but the day I joined the gym, I still remember they were in full preparation for competition, for a regional competition tournament. It was 3 weeks to 4 weeks, I think. So immediately I got enrolled in the intense training session, and where I was pushed to learn faster because my sensei told me that you need to to try the competition, not to win but to experience.
Yeah.
Because the more you experience the competition, the more you will be at ease with it, because there's a lot of pressure, and it came out to be positive. Yeah. Then there was during the competition, I saw I saw my peers who used to practice for 2 years or 3 years, the professional ones. Um, they were winning. They were how to say, uh, yeah, they were fighting. They were winning. And our club, there was one athlete I still remember who got the best athlete of the tournament. So when I got inspired from him. So I say one day I want to become the best athlete
Yeah.
also. I want to become the best fighter.
Yeah.
Now everything changed. So my daily routines also starting to change. My environment also started to change because you need to become best athlete. Training at the gym at the dojo is not sufficient. You need to work out during days there is no training at the dojo. So I started to go training by myself.
Consistency, right?
Consistency, yes. I started to go to running for conditioning to perform better. So unknowingly, I was, how to say, striving to become better. And I got that energy from that mindset to become the best athlete, because I wanted this. I got inspired and I wanted this. And still, now I look up to my coach, to my head coach, to my other friends. We inspired each other to become the better version
Yeah.
of ourselves.
There's an empowerment, sort of
Yes.
empowerment, right?
And despite it is individual sports, many people say that combat sport is individual, but for me, no, it's a team sport. It's a team sports, because our lead coach, Coach Tofik Chumbukas, always tell us that um, we need people to train with.
Indeed, for
Yes.
sure. And now Mauritius will host the Open Africa Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition on the
hmm
18th of November. Talk to us about the aim of that competition and how it's going to be.
The Open Africa is a biggest event in Africa concerning these sports, and we are proud to say that it is happening for the fifth time in Mauritius. And this is so because our organizing team is very professional, and our federation provide training for officials, referee, coordinators, every resource person. And secondly, our aim is to promote the sports, to promote, to give a platform for the young, even the old. There are competitors aged 55 who compete during that competition. And the main aim is to promote the athletes who've been practicing these sports, who are very passionate about these sports, and now it's the time to test ourselves.
Yes.
It's like a test. Without the test, we not know where to improve. We not know our strength. We not know the weaknesses, because we need to test ourselves. And like I said earlier, competition, there is a part of learning in it. There's a part of growing, because if we not fight, if we not compete, we'll stay in our comfort zone,
Yes.
and there is no growth in that.
And the local athletes as well will get the opportunity to
Yes.
come across other, other practitioners from
Mm-hmm.
different countries. What
Yes.
are the different countries can we expect in that competition?
Right now um, we have countries from China, from South Africa, from Germany, from Reunion Island, from France, and so on.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot.
there are
Many countries.
many people coming from Africa also, and there is a few coming from Russia also. And yes, this we are hosting this competition. It's also a way to expose our athletes to international platform, where they can, how to say, they can have this experience to fight with foreign athletes and see where we are situated
Yes.
among the elite of the sports. So in this way, we can know what need to be improved.
But what are the different categories we will have in this competition?
The competition is differentiated in different categories. In the age, there are kids division, there are adults and masters, and they are differentiated with the belt categories also. So the white will be situated in the pool of white belts only. Then the blue, purple, brown, and black. And about the weights also, so it is very divided in a proper way of weight, especially weight. And for the adult and master, there is another kind of pool. We call it the open division. So we can fight in the open division, means but belt wise, means we can fight with any opponent from that division. So you might see someone 60 kg might fight with 100 kg because of the sport. And
And how do you view the level of the Mauritian practitioners in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu?
mm, as I said earlier, this is the fastest growing sport here, and the athletes are very motivated. So we can see there's a lot of passionate people in our dojo, and each one are very eager to learn more and more. And because the sport is in itself in such a way that techniques are consistently uh, improving.
Okay.
So there's a lot of techniques, and also it's as it is very competitive. Everyone wants to win, to be part of the winning team. And our coach, our federation is based on full meritocracy. So only the best will be promoted, and everyone wants to be the best. And one thing I want to say about competition is the real opponent is in competition. We have to compete with ourselves in this sports, because competing with ourselves means to consistently developing ourselves in terms of skills, in terms of our conditioning, and in terms of our lifestyle. So it's not it's a way of life. It's not coming to train is sufficient. The way we live our life also, the way we eat also, the way we sleep,
It's a discipline,
it's a
right?
discipline. So all that matters.
Indeed.
And there is one question which is always in my mind, whether it is inside the dojo or outside, is what I'm doing will make me a better athlete or not. So this question is always on my mind. This question helps me to be focused and to be able to, how to say, to choose a better things, to make better decisions.
Mhm.
So it's a way of life.
And 18th November is not so far, the coming
Yes.
weeks. So has the training become, intensified
Mhm.
now with the approach of the competition?
Preparation started last year.
Last year.
Last year, the day after the fourth edition of Open Africa, our coach said we'll prepare for the next edition. So preparation started uh, a long time ago, and now we are left with 3 weeks. So now the intensity was very high. Now the intensity is also high, but and it is more specific. The training are more specified and are more like
So have to work on the mental aspect
yes.
because sports, it's not only about how strong you are physically, but you also need to have the strategy to be able to defeat the opponent,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, absolutely right. Because the training is based on many drills also, where we are sharpening our mind. So as you know, skill learn one time, tomorrow we'll forget. So skill should be an instinct. That's why we are doing many repetitions of the same thing. We are repeating so that our mind sharpen and we will be able to perform that skill when the time comes. So training is still hard, but is more focused on and drills and specific techniques. And this is a way also to avoid injuries, to prevent injuries, because 3 weeks from a big competition like this, stress
Mhm.
has come to arise. So the probability we get injured if we are not training properly will rise also. And the team need to be more. There is more team spirit in our dojo. Each one of the training partners is helping so that everyone is ready on the 18th of November.
We are actually drawing towards the end of this episode, but before that, Yudish, talk to us about your goal now as a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu practitioner. What's your main objective?
My main objective is
Yeah, Polly, Polly.
the main objective is the same, to become a better version of myself through the sports. And the sports has make me a better human also. And secondly is to continue to promote the sport, to help the federation um, to how to say, to promote the sport, to help the federation, and to share the sports also. And we'll see. Next year there are many competition also, and everyone will try their best to be part of the team to go to represent our flag
Yeah.
and to make our country and our parents, our family, especially our coach, proud of us. And that is the my biggest feelings.
Indeed.
Yeah, to represent our Mauritian flag and to listen to our national team echoing the sport complex.
Thank you, Yudish. It was such a delight to have you on the set tonight, and we wish you all the best for the upcoming competition.
Thank you so much, Koya.
Dear viewers, we have now come to the end of this episode. Thank you for your time. We hope to catch you next week at the same time, same channel. Have a great evening.